Hey, Michael with XForcePC. Normally, if you're running a 49 ultra-wide like we are up here, and you have a 22-inch touchscreen down here, you're going to run something like Air Manager down here. So you can have instruments down here and they're touch-friendly and you can use the touch feature. But let's say you've got a special situation, maybe you don't want to run Air Manager, or you have a third-party plane. Like I had a customer the other day with a third-party plane and Air Manager just was not going to work well for him. You can extend, what I'd say, extend the cockpit and down to this display. And so let's talk about doing that right now. So in the graphics options, on the top display, I have 95 degrees of lateral view. And that's usually what we recommend, something around that for the 49 inch. You can see when you drag this slider, things get wider or narrower. But I'll put it right around 95. And actually, let me put us in the cockpit so we can see what's going on. So that's really all you do with the top screen. Get your lateral field of view wherever you want it. Now I'm going to go down here to this bottom screen, which you have to have arranged correctly in Windows. You know, have it below this one in Windows so it shows up in here correctly. And I'm going to say full screen simulator. Now I will tell you right off the bat, this is going to cut your frame rate fairly significantly. So you got to have some frame rate to spare to do this. So if you're already struggling with frame rate, you're probably not going to be able to do this. So what we've got now is basically an exact copy of what we have up top. But our lateral field of view is being 95 down here just isn't accurate. We really need to drag that down to somewhere around 50 degrees, I happen to know. And that's a little more accurate to have this one at 50 degrees while this one's at 95. Now, achieving fluidity. What does that mean? Well, I'm going to hit the visual offsets, visual offsets. And our vertical rotation offset, I'm going to set to -30 to start with. What that means is on the bottom screen, since I'm down here on the bottom monitor, pitch my head down 30 degrees. And that's what we've done here. Now let's see. That is not quite perfect. Notice how we're seeing the turn coordinator here and we're seeing a little bit of it up on the top screen. So I need to make a slight adjustment and maybe make this 29 degrees. Oops, -29 degrees, so I'm not looking at the sky. No, actually I need a bigger number, -31. Let's see what that looks like. That was actually too much. So you see there's a little dialing in that has to occur here. I want -30.5 degrees. That's pretty close. Not totally perfect, but pretty darn close. So you can play, now I'm looking at it, it isn't 100% perfect. You can play with the lateral field of view a little bit more. You can play with the offsets and all that just a little bit more and get it dead perfect. But this is close enough for this exercise. So this is the fluidity I'm talking about. As you pan around, notice how it follows down onto this screen as you pan around. And then I can just recenter us again. You can also use the arrow keys. If I want to sit a little higher up in the seat and hit the up arrow a little bit, I can do that and have more instruments down here. You can also go left and right if you like. It all just flows, which is kind of nice. And especially if you're running a third-party plane that has third-party instruments like you're running, let's say, G1000, but it's a third-party G1000, so you can't really put it down on this display. You could use this arrangement and hopefully it would allow you to see not only out of the cockpit, but also see all of the instruments. So there you go. There's a quick and dirty little exercise on how to set up two displays, a smaller one down here, and allow it to show you things you normally couldn't see up on your big monitor. And hopefully that helps you out a little bit.